What is going on, guys? Today, I bring a special video. So, all this positivity surrounding Street Fighter 6, honestly, man, it's really got me thinking. Right? Which, first of all, it's nice to use the term positivity and Street Fighter in the same sentence again. Because for the past 5 to 7 years, Street Fighter 5 has they've had it pretty rough. It's been pretty rough to be a Street Fighter fan, dude. And not just a Street Fighter fan, but as a Capcom fan in general. However, somewhere down the road, Capcom got their shit together, okay? And they are back with a vengeance. So that's what this video is. This video is about the Capcom Redemption Arc that is currently taking place. How did it happen? Where did it happen? Hit that subscribe button and you'll find out. I got you guys. You guys didn't think I'd do it, but I did it. Anyway, back to the subject matter at hand. So our tale begins with a little unknown game known as Resident Evil 6. Okay? Now this masterpiece, or you know that's not right. This unholy tragedy, this dumpster fire of a game. Dog water, dick on the ground, Frankenstein, jumbled up mess of a game. This is the title that made Capcom realize that they had to change the way they did shit, right? Do you know how bad of a game you gotta be to make an entire company pump the brakes and change the way you're doing things? And the weird thing is, I still have friends that will defend this game with their lives. And that blows my mind because it almost ruined the entire company. Okay, Capcom, they were like, fuck, this is not going well, Capcom thought. And from that moment forward, no more outsourcing to third parties when it came to Capcom's mainline franchises, right? Which is quite possibly the best decision Capcom has ever made in their company's history. Okay, because out of this decision spawned 2 games of the absolute banger caliber. Those being Monster Hunter World and Resident Evil 7. Like you guys didn't know. These 2 games, in my opinion, these are the heralds of the Cap God's return. Resident Evil 7 in particular, I have a very strong attachment to. Here's a quick little story time. So I actually got my copy of Resident Evil 7 about 2 weeks early. Okay, so I had this game 2 weeks before it officially dropped. And during this time frame, there was nothing on Reddit, there was nothing on Reset Era, right? This game was a complete mystery. And honestly, that was the whole marketing behind Resident Evil 7. Right? People were losing their minds trying to find out what Capcom had done with Resident Evil. Right? This was the first Resident Evil game in first person. When they announced the game at E3, they shadow dropped a demo. Right? And in this demo, there was all these secrets and it was like an escape room. Dude, it was nuts, man. It was nuts. I will never forget that. Okay? Playing through this game 2 weeks early, or give or take, that's an experience I will never forget that shit, dude. That's some shit I'm gonna be telling my grandkids about. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite happened. Monster Hunter World. Here we go, man. So Monster Hunter World. This is this one is a lot more self-explanatory. Honestly, Monster Hunter World is just a good-ass game. I don't think I've put more hours into any other video game. Honestly. I think I have about 2,000 hours into Monster Hunter World. Right, so that's saying something. And clearly, the rest of the world agrees. Because Monster Hunter World, and I need you to listen to me right here. I need you to listen. Monster Hunter World is Capcom's best-selling game of all time. Okay? Of all time. Monster Hunter World is love it or hate it. Okay? Because a lot of old school Monster Hunter fans don't like it because it did simplify a lot of things. This game made Monster Hunter mainstream. Right? and it put Capcom back on top. It put a lot of money in their pockets, and it gave them the confidence to start making weird shit again. You know what I mean? They started making weird shit again. I'll get to that in a minute. But from here, spoiler alert, Capcom just keeps putting out bangers. Okay? That's basically what happens from here on in. Capcom, using their new souped up RE engine, okay, the engine that they made Resident Evil 7 with, they proceed to just throw out banger after banger. Devil May Cry 5, amazing game. Resident Evil 2 Remake, another one. Another one, man. These two games, I think I've beaten at least 6 or 7 times apiece. Okay? And there's no game that Capcom has put out recently that has stained that reputation at all. Ooh. Well, you know what? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Resident Evil 3 Remake is not that bad. Everyone relax. Okay? Everyone chill. Because from here, we enter Chapter 2. Alright? And Chapter 2 kicks off with Resident Evil Village. AKA Resident Evil 8. AKA Step on Me Tall Vampire Lady. The game. Okay? Everyone's favorite. And Resident Evil Village, just like the other games that we just covered, they were made using Capcom's RE engine, right? Which means they're saving money, right? They're not using a third-party engine. They're using their own souped-up magnum dick of an engine, right? And Resident Evil Village is just a culmination of that, right? Is it better than Resident Evil 7? Who's to say? I think I like Resident Evil 7 slightly more, but Resident Evil Village is still one hell of a game for, you know, multiple reasons. Not just the vampires and the werewolves. Dude, that scene in the puppet house with the baby, I'll never forget that shit, man. That shit scarred me for life, probably. Anyway, moving on from Resident Evil Village, which is an amazing game. That was my game of the year. We have Monster Hunter Rise, which is very fitting, right? That Resident Evil 8 and the next Monster Hunter game, they're still tearing it up, right? Just like their predecessors. Anyway, this one's tough because Sunbreak just came out of the time of me recording this video. So I'm still playing through that. A lot of people say that Monster Hunter Rise is better than World. I don't know if I would agree with that. It's definitely more fun. Definitely. But I think I do like the ecology, the discovery aspect of Monster Hunter World slightly more. With that being said, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak brings back Gormagala, right? Which is like my favorite monster. And what's his name? Magnamalo just got a new form as well. Spoiler alert. Oh my god, spoiler alert, sorry. Magnamalo and Malzeno are quickly becoming some of my favorite monsters. I love this game. Apparently, Sunbreak has sold incredibly well. I'm gonna throw some metrics on the screen. Give me 1 second. God damn, 2 million copies already. 2 million copies already. That's insane. That is insane. This expansion's been out for maybe 5 days, maybe. And it's safe to say that Capcom has another dub on their hands, right? And with that, that brings us to the final chapter of our video, the conclusion. Capcom has lost their goddamn minds. Okay, you hear me? Alright, they just released the Capcom Fighting Collection, right? You could purchase Red Earth and Darkstalker games that are not available in the US. You could buy that shit now, right? They announced a Mega Man Battle Network collection that has all the Mega Man Battle Network games on them. That shit is insane. I can play Mega Man Battle Network 4 on my PS4. Well, when this shit comes out, of course. But think about that. There's some new Mega Man stuff happening in the present day. That is insane. I said earlier in the video if you think back, that Capcom eventually would start making some weird shit, right? Just like how they used to be in the 80s and 90s. They just kind of made whatever, right? Dude, Exoprimal, that game where you wear a mech suit and you go out and fight hordes of dinosaurs? That shit looks insane. Who thought of that? By the way, I'm gonna be streaming that. I'm streaming the beta on my Twitch channel tomorrow, so swing by if you want to check that out. Anyway, that's crazy. It's mind-blowing. Pragmata? Dude, I can't even begin to tell you what this game is about. Like, honestly, I really can't. However, I'm super excited about it. This shit looks crazy, right? Who thought of this? Right? There's an astronaut and a little girl with superpowers and they're on the moon and shit. There's a cat or something like that. Dude, this is insane. This is crazy. And that brings us back to what started this video, right? Street Fighter 6. And just to reiterate, everyone is excited, everyone's optimistic, and as a Capcom fan, that's insane. That's something special, you know? And unfortunately, in the fighting game division of Capcom, some old heads did have to roll, unfortunately. And not to sound callous or anything, but seemingly it was for the better, right? Capcom is doing incredible right now. And if Street Fighter 6, if it's anything like any of the games that they've been putting out recently, dude, this is gonna be a banger as well, man. I am already 1000% on board. If you've been on my channel longer than 5 minutes, you know that I love Street Fighter. And that Street Fighter 6 looks incredible to me. Anyway, guys, that's the video. That is the full story, or, you know, an abridged story of the Capcom Redemption arc. If you liked anything I had to say, please like, comment, subscribe, do all that cool shit if you haven't done so already. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Peace.